The Calibur VI Beta was available not too long ago, and with it, tens of thousands of players all across the world are starting to learn the mechanics of this fantastic game. One of the new mechanics that came with Calibur 6 is Reversal Edge, and this mechanic in particular has the potential to be one of the most devastating mechanics in the game. Hello everyone, my name is ITZsharky, and today we are going to be having an in-depth discussion about Reverse Edge and how to utilize it as well as its potential. First, what is Reverse Edge? Reverse Edge is kind of like a parry move that can be used by all characters by either pressing right bumper or R1 on PlayStation. For the sake of me having a fluent video, I'll be saying right bumper since I play on Xbox. Whenever you press right bumper, your sword will have this white aura glow, and then after a certain period of time, it will slash in red, and you and your opponent will go in a reverse edge clash scene. So, what is a reverse edge clash scene? Well, a reverse edge clash scene is like basically a game of rock, paper, scissors. There are plenty of outcomes, but there are mainly three outcomes. You have vertical versus sidestep, vertical versus horizontal, and horizontal versus sidestep are generally the main three outcomes. Then you also have whenever each player chooses the same thing twice, and then you have when a player blocks or when a player decides to dodge up or down, left or right. So the outcomes of all these situations is actually fairly simple. Vertical will always lose to sidestep, or on Xbox, Y will always lose to B or moving left or right. Sidestep will always lose to horizontal. Sidestep, which is B, will lose to horizontal, which is X. And horizontal will always lose to vertical. Vertical, which is Y, and horizontal, which is X. Now, there are ways that you can initiate a double clash. Like I said earlier, two players can choose the same option and now go into a double clash. Whenever this double clash is initiated, if the two players choose the same option again, the person that initiated the reverse edge clash will automatically win. Now, I discussed earlier on how a player can block when in the reverse edge clash. Now, if a player blocks up against a horizontal attack, the clash stops right there. But if a player blocks up against a vertical attack, then they will go into a second clash. And they do have the option to block again. However, blocking again will cost them their guard to go into the yellow or sometimes even in the red. And if they're already in the red, doing that will cause them to guard break, which will lead for a very bad punishment. So, now that we understand the possible outcomes of a clash, let's talk about how reverse edge can affect your soul gauge. The player that initiates reverse edge will get a soul gauge boost. If the two players clash, the player that initiated the soul edge will get a boost on their soul gauge once, and if they win the second clash or they hit a blocking opponent, their soul gauge will go up twice. Now when I say it goes up twice, I'm not talking about a full meter, but if you win a reverse edge clash where you guys clash more than once, then it is guaranteed that you'll have one soul gauge meter charged. Now that we know how this affects soul gauge, let us talk about the utilization of reverse edge. Like I said before at the beginning of the video, reverse edge is kind of like a parry mechanic. Most people that I've played up against back when the beta started, or since I only played one day, they had no idea how to utilize reverse edge, and most of them were just using it by just pressing right bumper and then hopefully waiting till the timer hits me. And I can say that that is not the only way you can do it. Not sure if any of you guys know, but you can actually hold reverse edge unless it is broken. So for example, if you have reverse edge and an opponent is blocking, you can hold the reverse edge to long enough and then it will automatically trigger at a certain point in time, and no matter whether that opponent is blocking or not, a clash will be initiated. Also, you can hold a reverse edge to block as many attacks in a combo as long as it doesn't have a canceling combo attack. For example, in a fight I was going up against a Mitsurugi, and in blocking his attacks I was able, after blocking his attacks, I was able to hit him with the reverse edge, and eventually that would lead to my victory. So when you're doing this, there's some other things that you have to learn, is that if you're going up against a character that you're not familiar with, then the chances are doing this, you'll fail the first couple of times. Reverse edge is a mechanic to where it rewards knowing who you're playing up against. For example, if you try and reverse edge Talon, but you don't know that some of her attacks can have a 4 or 5 or even 6 hit combo if I'm not mistaken, then you will get punished almost each time you try and reverse edge her. However, if you fought up against plenty of Talons, or you studied her and you know her combos, then the chances are you'll be able to utilize reverse edge quite efficiently. So, what are my final thoughts on reverse edge? In my opinion, reverse edge is an amazing mechanic that rewards knowledge on players. Now, the way it seems that I presented it is that reverse edge is broken, but that is not necessarily true. Reverse edge has a combo limit, and if you hit any player with a break attack, which is kind of like the lightning attacks that generally break your guard for a split second, if you hit any player with that while they're in reverse edge, it automatically gets canceled out and can lead to an immediate punish. So my thoughts on reversal edge is that it's a great mechanic, and I find it extremely unique, and in the future I'll definitely be utilizing this and once I know who I'm going up against. Anyways, I hope you found this video informative. If it did help you learn a little bit about the mechanics of Soul Calibur 6, leave a like. Comment down if you think about utilizing reverse edge in the way I told you, or if maybe you have a different way of utilizing reverse edge. Share it with your Soul Calibur 6 buddies. Maybe they might like to know something that could possibly boost their gameplay. And why not stick around? There will be more Soul Calibur 6 content coming on this channel, including character reviews, setups, and all that good kind of stuff. Anyways, my name is ITZsharky, and I'll see you all in the next one.